Hey friends, it's time for another Playwright tip, and today I want to show you how you can listen for console logs and uncaught exceptions in your pages using Playwright. So what I have here is a quick example. It's a very bare bones web page that really just includes the headline Playwright tips. But when we open up the dev tools, you will see that there are a few things going on in the JavaScript console. So first of all, we have three different console log messages. We have a console log, a console warn, and a console error that are telling us that something is going on in this particular page. These could now be leftovers or debug messages, but I'm pretty sure that I don't want to have these in my bare bones web page here right now. But additionally, there's also one uncaught JavaScript exception that is telling me, hey, this should not happen. So how can we detect these console log messages and exceptions in our Playwright script? What I have here is a quick Playwright script that tests that the page has no errors or logs. And it's going to localhost 8080 so far, and nothing else is going on. So we can run npx playwright test, and we have a succeeding test case over here. And listening to console log messages is pretty straightforward in Playwright. All you have to do is you have to use the page object and add an event handler that waits or listens for console events. So what we now can do is we can use a logs array, which we will initialize in a moment, and we can start pushing objects to it. So we will push the message here and a message type, which we also have over here. And now we only have to initialize the logs array. And this is pretty much all it takes to listen for these three messages that we have over here. After we navigated to the page, we can now log out all the logs that we caught, and we can add our first assertion here, expecting that our logs array should have the length of 0. So we can run this test case again, and you will now see that our test case is failing because there are logs in this particular page, and it's telling us, hey, there are 3 of them. Maybe you should have a look. But also we can see here that our logging worked successfully. But what about the exception here? And luckily, Playwright has something for that one too. So what we can do here is we can add another event listener, which is called page error. And we can follow a similar approach. So we will have an errors array, which we push this particular exception to. Now we initialize errors to be an empty array. And now we can move forward and add the same logic over here. So I will log out errors, and I'm expecting also that there are no errors in the page. There's one gotcha here right now though. Expect in this case, so this assertion will stop this test from running. So let's make this a soft assertion because I think it's super cool. So the test is continue running. And now when we run this test, you will see that we have 2 failing assertions over here. We have this error assertion because it's telling us, hey, there's one exception in this particular page. And we have the similar assertion failing for the log messages, which we don't want to have in this page. And I think all these page handlers or page events that are coming by Playwright itself are just a super nifty addition to make sure that you're shipping high quality websites and products. And this was this week's Playwright tip, and I will talk to you next week.